there has been hearings in the US through the United States Senate of the botched withdrawal out of Afghanistan. Now, I would like to point out the fact of one sniper with an M110 semi-automatic platform visibly called out over the radio that he had visual on the suicide bomber at the Abbey Gate.
To be more specific?
And he was bluntly ignored while he was over in Kabul during that extraction. Ignored.
So to be more specific, the sniper that gave the testimony said that he had the bomber in his sights.
In his crosshairs.
In his crosshairs, and was requesting as much as possible to take the shot, and he was bluntly ignored. Armoured and I are a little bit of a standstill here. I feel very much for the soldier. Here in Australia, our training's a little bit different. If you're in a war zone and you have a target that you know is there to do something bad, you don't hesitate.
Right.
So, in Armoured's view, he should have taken the shot.
This is my argument for it. If you have a radio through your chain of command and you say that you have eyes on a suicide bomber around a packed area of people and you do not get a report over the radio to take the shot, in Australia, you take the initiative and you nullify the clear and present danger. It is a lot easier to explain why one bullet was discharged and one body hit the ground versus no bullet discharged and 100 bodies hit the ground.
Yeah. So what wasn't really publicised with that story a lot? I mean, we all know that 13 defence members lost their lives that day. What we didn't really hear much about was also the I think it was 147 Afghan
147
allies that died on that day too. So, yeah, I mean, hindsight, this is why the catchphrase is hindsight's a bitch. Because hindsight, that soldier will have to live with the fact that he could have taken that shot.
Now, you guys
but
in
he
America...
chose to wait for the order.
You guys in America, I understand the reason why you're told not to fire unless being fired upon, but you're literally treating yourself as bait for this sort of shit to happen. In Australia, right, we are taught orders for opening fire. We have yellow and red card. In a situation like that, we would have been under red card orders. In other words, you identify a clear and present danger, you nullify the threat, you take the initiative, you save lives. That's our job. Yeah. That's what we do.
So that's why the training, like, I totally agree with that thinking. I mean, that's how our soldiers are trained. I can't speak for the American soldiers, but all I know is that sniper now has to live with the fact that every time he closes his eyes, all he's going to see is that man and his crosshairs that he didn't take out. And
I do feel for him in that regard.
That's horrible.
Absolutely. Yep. 100%.
The guilt he must feel.
I'm not a heartless prick.
Yeah,
but you take the initiative. You take the fucking shot. You save lives.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, I'm just going to say this. There is somebody to blame. And that man sits at the very top.
Biden.
He should never have pulled out the way he did.
Why?
Because it was atrocious. They've now added up the cost that they've of the military stuff that was left behind that the Taliban have now seized, and it comes to something like over $2 billion worth of stuff.
What I want to know is why? Why? I'm a lowly fucking grunt, okay? I'm not in any sort of fucking intelligence divisions or anything like that. I'm a simple grunt. But even I can work out that you had a strategic advantage at Bagram Air Force Base versus Kabul Airport. Why the fuck did you leave Bagram?
Yeah, that was. I mean, the whole thing was botched from the beginning. Look, everybody wanted that war to end. Don't get me wrong, but the way they executed, it was a disaster. That was a disaster.
Bagram had like 4 fucking runways, and you close that down to only
For a
have
single
one
runway. Yeah. And so this is why I say. But that combined with the 2.8 billion or whatever they've just given to Ukraine, I mean.
Don't you think they could have done some of that fucking material that they left in Afghanistan?
Well, that's it. They even said that. They're like, if we'd just withdrawn properly, we could have got all of our tech, all of our ammunition, everything out, and given most of it to Ukraine. Instead of now funding that war. It's as though, I'm just going to say it, but it's as though the US likes war. It pays the rich further and...
Well, duh.
They can kind of wash their hands of it because it's not happening to them. But I got a newsflash for all you Americans. Open your eyes. You're being attacked from the inside out. Like, nobody needs to come to your shores to take over your land. Look at what is happening.
Look at the
There are now more deaths than what... Yeah, I was just about to say fentanyl crisis. Oh, a freaking 16-month-old baby girl died of an overdose of fentanyl. But wait, it gets worse. The family went to an R&B, bed and breakfast, basically. And she put the toddler down for a snooze on the bed, and when she came in 2 hours to wake her up, she was lifeless. She had an overdose on their bed at the fucking hotel. Yeah, so now there's a huge lawsuit now to find out who the hell was in the room. Why wasn't it cleaned properly? Yeah, little girl dead from a fentanyl overdose. I mean, when's it going to stop? You guys are literally being taken out from inside your own land